righty, we are live. Actually, we're not live. Sorry, we are not live. This is a solo cast, backed by popular demand. I'm excited. I've got a great idea for this solo cast. So, let me tell you about it. So, over spring break, just got done with spring break, back in school, back on the grind, they say, and so over spring break, me and the family went up to Minneapolis, stayed at an Airbnb, and they had these cards, these fun, these board games, everything, these card games, play with, whatever. And they had these decks of cards called Table Topics. So what Table Topics is, you take a card, it has some random question on that promotes conversation. So I was like, dang, I should get those for my podcast because that would be fun to give to guests, or just some random conversation starters to provoke conversation. So like a genius I am, I just Googled the questions, and believe it or not, there is a 365 tabletop question PDF file. Now, I'm not going to go through all 365 questions, but I do want to get through some today because I think it would be fun, chance for you to get to know me a little bit better. And I downloaded this cool number generator app, which you put in the minimum and the maximum, and it randomly generates a number. Each question is numbered on the table topics, and I'll just go through a few. Hopefully we go down some weird rabbit holes, maybe some cool questions. I don't know. I haven't read the questions yet, so I just scrolled through them. They looked good. I didn't want to prepare for them at all. So this is history right here. It's never been done. I Googled it. So first time in history, someone's done table topics, questionnaire, podcast, solo cast. So I'm excited. But before we get started, guys, thanks for all the support. If you haven't listened to the last podcast with Elaine Eshba, it is awesome. You learn a lot. I learned a lot. It was great, and still can check it out on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Again, if you guys could like the page, like the statuses, share the statuses, rate me on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube. Every little bit helps as I'm trying to grow. Also, I'm also willing, if you got cool people you want to come on, or if you want to come on, let me know. I'm always down for a conversation with you. Always want to get more guests. I want to try to get more content out. But by popular demand, I'm doing that solo cast tonight. So I thought this would be fun. It's a good idea. It's a fun idea. You never know what's going to happen with these 365 questions. So let's get started, guys. Random number generator number one is question 292. So let's scroll down. 292. What is the biggest obstacle that stands in your way right now? What is the biggest obstacle that stands in your way right now? Obviously, the biggest one right now is my financial status. Me and Christy both being a full-time student, part-time workers in food industry. So the biggest thing right now is financial. I know I take out student loans. We're not eating ramen every day, but financially right now it is hard, but we are surviving, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's probably my biggest obstacle right now, but it's not, we know that it's going to be temporary, and we're taking a couple steps back these last 2 years going to school to take a few steps forward. So always having that in mind. Yeah, it's temporary, but this too shall pass, and we're setting ourselves up for a better future, hopefully. And so that's my biggest obstacle right now. I would say that for me and Christy right now is just the financial, trying to grind, struggle through school. She's commuting every day to Cedar Rapids for culinary, and I'm doing the damn thing at Allen College in the occupational therapy program. So financial, that's a pretty easy one. Most of us, struggle with that, but not using it as an excuse. I love my life right now. I'm happy where I'm at. But it is what it is. All right, easy. That one was easy. So hopefully they get harder. Question 24 here, guys. Question 24 here. So 24 is, when you are 80 years old, what will matter to you most? Well, this will be a pretty obvious question. Come on, make some harder ones, some tougher choices. So obviously family. family, my spouse. Hopefully it's Christy when we're 80. And so that's going to matter to me most, my kids. I do want to have kids. You know, family. We all, I think, growing up in that Midwestern, you know, that culture of the Midwest where your family's always there, you know. When you get old, you're not going to give a hoot about your iPhone 10 if you can get the latest, you know, if you can get the latest version of your iPhone or your tablet, or, you know, get the newest car with all these features. You're going to want that time with your family. And if you can start thinking about that now, you know, maybe we won't regret it when we're older, and, you know, we realize, you know, we did spend as much time as we could with our family, maybe not as much as we wanted to, but, you know, on your deathbed, you're not going to worry about, you know, the newest iPhone. You're going to worry about, are my kids going to be able to make it to see me this last time? Or, you know, so that's a pretty easy question. You know, I think most people would agree is that family element, especially here in the Midwest. So easy one, easy. So next question, 149. Question 149. You are, who do you trust and why? Going back, that family. People that have been around me, you know, I've put my trust in people and been burned before, not just in relationships personally, but professionally as well. You know, a lot of people out there, I've learned, aren't always looking out for your best interests. You know, by nature, you're always worried about yourself, your family. Is your family going to get food? Are you going to have enough money to pay your bills and all that stuff? So, I mean, it is very scary for anybody to put your trust into someone, especially if you're passionate about something. If something's on the line, your business is on your line, a personal relationship's on the line. It's very, very hard to trust someone. And, you know, we've all been burned by someone that you put that trust in, and it makes us, you know, not want to trust anybody anymore. And we all have that problem. So I'd say my family, you know, they're my ride and die. I know I can trust my mom, my family. You know, I know I can trust Christy and her family. Just the people that have been there from ground zero, you know. You learn to trust those people, and your circle gets smaller as you get older. But, you know, I'm only 27, so I don't really know that much. But from what I've learned so far is, you know, you get burned, but you gotta, it's important to keep trusting people. You know, you have to have that faith in people, and you have to give them opportunities to be trusted, because, you know, special things can happen when you trust people, I believe. And, you know, you empower them through that trust, and that just builds the relationship even more. So, you know, obviously the family, but, you know, I trust, you know, I have no problem trusting a stranger to do simple things, but, you know, would I let my future kids get, you know, Brian Cowan has a joke, if you have a face tattoo, I'm not going to let you babysit my kids. You know, obviously I'm not going to trust, you know, people who have judgment problems, issues like that, but, you know, it is what it is. You guys know what I'm talking about. Next question, 158. Is that only one down? Nope. Do you see to believe or believe to see? Do I see to believe or believe to see? I definitely need to see it to believe it. Kind of going back with the trust and everything. I guess it probably all started when we've all done this, when the internet first came out and you're sitting there and you're, you know, on AOL Instant Messenger or something, you're surfing the web, and a pop-up comes up and it says, you've won a free trip to Jamaica. Click on here. You've won this free trip. And you get all excited because it's the first time it's ever happened to you. And hopefully you guys are like, God damn, he's right. I was 8 years old and I ran and told my mom, you know, there's a free trip. We got this free trip on the computer. They said we just got to put our email or whatever in. And so that probably led me to see it to believe it. Also, you know, just going through life, you know, I do it all the time. I tell people, you know, hey, I'll be there, or I'll do this, I'll do that. I'm going to come roll this morning, or something, you know, something stupid. It's not always serious, but, you know, until that actually happens, I think you want to have a little skeptical, a sense of skepticism, and I think seeing it, and you're never going to get your hopes up, so seeing it to believe it. You know, I think for sure that's me right there, because I've been fooled before. We've all been fooled, you know. So definitely see it to believe it. 156, we're staying in the 50s here. Okay, how have you helped someone else recently? Well, I like to think that my podcast has helped a few of my guests come on. I really want to try and get more people within the community. You know, I had Morgan, and I had Elaine and Marty and some other people. I got someone coming up. I really want to help people in the community network, reach more people, you know, share their products, share their blog, share their business. You know, I want to get these people in here, not only for me personally to talk to them and to grow my podcast, but I want to help them grow their business or their idea or their website, their blog, their idea, whatever, you know. So I think the last few people I've had, I think I've been able to help them in some small way by, even if it's just getting the word out. For example, Elaine, you know, she has her blog, you know, so anytime I can help with that, I would love to. You know, we both help each other. So she's, you know, you share my podcast, I share your ideas, I share your business. So I just want to, that's my main thing right now. With school, you know, we volunteer, we try and volunteer with our SOTA club, so our Student Occupational Therapy Association club, at least once a semester. So a few weeks ago, a few of my classmates did and me, we did the Special Olympics at the Dome. And that was my first time ever doing the Special Olympics. And not going to lie, it was a long day, and I didn't pack a lunch. So we were there from like 9 to about 4. A lot of staying around, but I do like volunteering. You know, it's something good. That was a good experience for me to go to the Special Olympics. I didn't realize how big it was and how many people help out and how many hands it takes to get that done. But I'm really glad I was there and, you know, got to meet the athletes and be a small part of their day. So that's something recently. All right, question 301, where are we at? What are the top 3 qualities you look for in a friend? So top 3 qualities you're looking at for in a friend. For the, you know, this one's pretty easy for me. We have to have chemistry. Obviously you might laugh at that, but you know, your friends and you have to have chemistry. You got to think alike. You got to have those inside jokes. You got to laugh at the same stuff. You almost have to be on the same wave length and kind of be on the same page together. And, you know, you think alike, you laugh alike, you know, and you got to be able to have fun around them. So, you know, thinking alike is one of the top qualities. Also in a friend, you know, it's different now that I've gotten older, for sure. More of my friends now, which I love about, you know, my close friends that I have is, you know, I don't need to talk to them very often. But when I do talk to them, it's like we just finished talking, you know. So if you can find those people, you know, that I call them low maintenance, that they don't need you to call, they don't need you to text, they don't need you to, you know, they don't expect you to hang on a whim or anything. They're just going to be there, you know, when you call, when you text, you know, it's like you guys never left off, and all things are good. They ask you how you're doing. So that's the big number 2, you know, low maintenance. You know, we all understand we've got lives and we're doing our own thing and pursuing our own passions. So, you know, don't be that needy friend that complains when they won't go out to the bar for you. You know, that's something that's changed. You know, if they only want you to go out to the bars every night, you know, yeah, I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. So that's second quality. Third quality in a friend, I guess, they just got to care about you, and, you know, you trust them. They do anything for you, you know. You know, you really care about them, their family, how they're doing, how their spouse is doing. They ask you those kind of questions. You're excited to see them. You plan trips, things like that. So That's my spiel on Friends there. Alrighty, next one. These ones are flying by, guys. So, question 11 here. What do we got? Oh, this is a good one. Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Well, I don't think it's a sign of weakness or strength. I just think it means that, I guess it could be a strength, that you're comfortable expressing your emotions. That's something I don't, I don't cry often. I do get emotional, not many people see it, but I get emotional. There's a few things, like if you want to get me, where I have something in my eye all of a sudden, there's, I think, three things that just get me. So one thing that, this is a little off topic, but I like it. One thing that really hits me home is, when you're watching ESPN or you're watching the news and they've got those military surprise homecomings, like they'll be on like a cheerleader will be on the football field and like doing her thing. And then like the service man or woman will come up behind them and like, they'll be just like cheering and stuff. And then they'll like turn around, they'll like fall down to their knees and start crying. I'll choke up on that. Like I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about that. So like anytime military homecomings, those kind of things, you see kids running after their dad when they get home, that can make me choke up. I'm gonna get polyps. So the second thing, soft spot, single moms, single moms, I got a huge soft spot in my heart, just the way I was raised, women out there doing the damn thing, raising kids and, being the mother and the father. I have the utmost respect for their struggle and their, what they do. So that's my huge soft spot. And then one that I started to develop recently going through graduate school is, people that have large traumas in their life, such as a stroke, a traumatic brain injury, an amputation, or a spinal cord injury. Those things really, those mess me up a little bit. Just because I just, when you see someone like that, you want to help them as much as you can, and you realize how silly it is of the, shit you're complaining about in your life. You complain about this, you complain about that, but man, we've got it so good. And, I'm really drawn to the neuro rehab, kind of field and occupational therapy, working with stroke, traumatic brain injury, spinal cord, amputations, things like that. Because, it really puts my life in perspective, and, I want to help someone out like that. And, man, there's, we take a lot for granted. And when I see people, living their life, doing more than I'm doing, with those deficits, and they're, thriving, that fires me up. And, it makes me realize that I shouldn't be complaining about anything in my life. And, I want to help those people as much as I can. That's something that I really think I'm going to pursue here. Once I get done with school, is that neuro rehab. Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? That was kind of a little tangent, but I think it's, it's neither or, it's, you can be strong or you can be weak and vulnerable. In the moment you can be strong and crying, but at the same time, we all feel vulnerable at some point. And, there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable, and, needing someone else in that time. So I think you can be both a sign of strength and a sign of weakness. Good stuff. That was a good question. All right, 45 here. We got 45. What do you want most? That's a loaded question. So what do I want most? Let me give you a few, just off the top of my head. What I want most is no student loans, or a chance to get rid of them through some kind of service. Obviously, I could go in the military, but that won't pay them all back. I've got so damn much. just, a chance to not be burdened by my student loans. That's one that comes to mind. What else do I want most? I want to continue to have the drive that I have and the passion to pursue new projects or opportunities that I've had in the last few years. I really want to try a lot of new things. I want to try working in different settings. I want to do, put myself out of that comfort zone. I'm always the first one volunteering to do something weird or, to fail. I hope that never leaves me. I hope that I never am afraid to fail at something. And kind of, if we're going to talk like just you want to get greedy, what do I want most? If I want to get greedy, I'd love a acreage with some chickens, a big garden, a fire pit, a hot tub, a sauna, a cold pool, a big party shed, something a lot of us here want in rural Iowa. So a little bit of land, shoot the bow, go hunting, stuff like that. So that's more of like the greedy side of me talking, but we can all fantasize. Next question. We're moving up a few. 47. What has life taught you recently? Well, I guess since starting the podcast, life has taught me that to try and what has life taught me recently? I guess it's just trying to find my niche or to keep exploring, even if, I'm going to school for occupational therapy, but I don't want that to be the only thing that defines me. I want life to keep providing me opportunities or me making those opportunities and pursuing them. I don't want to let something else slip by me again or let that slip by me or this opportunity or that or this or that. So just going for it, I guess, and just starting things, quit procrastinating. We're not as busy as we think we are. So just let's start something. I guess just start. That's my thing, is just start. All right, moving down. 322. Where are we at? Alrighty. What is the number one quality that makes someone a good leader? Now, we've talked about this, interestingly enough, in our management and leadership class this semester. So our first couple weeks, we talked about different types of leadership, qualities, different leaders, things like that. So what is the number one quality that makes someone a good leader? Is, wait for it, you have to do what you're trying. If you're telling someone to do something, you have to do that. You have to lead from the front of the line, not the back of the line. There's that picture of that old Facebook photo or whatever of, the guy with the whip from the back and then saying leading, and then there's a guy up front, like the head of the spear. And that's what leadership should look like. Is you should be on the front. You should be doing what you say. You shouldn't just be all talk, So number one quality of a leader, you got to walk the walk, for me at least. Alrighty, 180. I know those numbers don't mean anything to you guys, but they mean something to me. What are your top 3 priorities? I already said it, probably in another podcast, maybe today. I've got family, school, and that's about it. Those are my only 2 priorities, I guess. Family, school. Yeah, school could mean a lot of things, so I guess I only have 2, I guess friends, maybe. Sure. They're probably my 3rd. That one's easy. Oh, before I move on, I know this is like way, way late, but I just want to give a shout out to Cedar Falls High School men's basketball team for winning the state championship this year. Coach Ryan Schultz was actually my basketball coach in 8th grade, 9th grade, and maybe sophomore year. Either 2 or 3 years in a row because he kept on moving up the ranks. But, man, he is a good guy, Ryan Schultz. I'm glad he and those kids, mostly those kids, were able to get it done and bring home the first state championship in school history. So that's a very, very cool thing. Although I didn't get to watch it, I was pretty pissed. You know, this feed, whatever feed it was using, was not compatible with my location or whatever. So I didn't get to see the game, but it was a blowout. So I'll take it, I guess. But shout out to Ryan Schultz and the Cedar Falls men's basketball team on becoming state champions for the first time. Ryan Schultz, he's a great guy. Couldn't happen to a better guy. And yeah, shout out to those guys. All right, back on it. I don't know why I just thought of that, but I should have shouted them out last episode. So 55. If life is so short, why do we do so many things we don't like and like so many things we don't do? If life is so short, why do we do so many things we don't like and like so many things we don't do? Oh, that's easy because it always is. The grass is always greener on the other side. You always want what you can't have. I think we all often romanticize about what we don't have. And for example, I wish I traveled more, but then when I go traveling, I miss home, you know. I wish Walter wasn't whining all the time, but then when he's gone, I miss him whining. So it always looks better, you know. The grass is always greener in our sense, and we want things we don't have, and we don't appreciate the things we have. So one of those things that you can do with that is just practice, I guess, gratitude through your life, and then just be thankful for the things you have, and you won't complain so much, I guess, you know. Life's not that bad. We're born in the United States. Most of us have it pretty easy. If you have a smartphone, if you have a internet connection, you can pretty much do anything nowadays. So there's really no excuse for you to be, you know, wishing you had more. No one's holding you back. You can literally, in this country, besides crime, do anything you want. So go for it. Start it. All right, question 16 here. Have you done anything lately worth remembering? Obviously, I want to remember everything. I guess these podcasts. Next question. That was a bad one. 162. I'm going to go a few more. We're about 31 minutes in here, so we'll get you a few more. We'll try and keep this one short today. 162. If today was your last day of your life, who would you call and what would you tell them? Well, today was the last day of my life. Who would I call? Obviously, all my family and friends. And that's it. Next question. Easy. Yeah, no, I'm going to call Jared from Subway because it's my last day on earth. I really need to ask him something. Okay. Family, that was easy. 192. Oh, we already did this question. Congrats. 253. Wow, we already did that question too. You'd think this generator would... Okay, this is a good one. 268. What type of person angers you the most? Well, the easy answer is, and the non-politically correct answer is stupid people, but let's dive deeper into that because not all people are stupid, obviously. So people that anger me the most are the people who just don't have common courtesy, or that's probably the number one thing, you know. We go to restaurants or something and your waiter's terrible, or you go to some places in the Cedar Valley and their employees aren't happy, or, those type of people are the worst, just the people that hate their job so much that you can feel it physically when you are next to them and you are being a customer or something like that. So cheer up. Like I said, you live in the greatest country of the world. There's nothing to be ashamed about. You got a smartphone. You can do whatever you would like. Quit making excuses. 284. How have you sabotaged yourself in the past 5 years? Well, how have I sabotaged myself? I guess just procrastinating. We all do that. We all have these great ideas. I know everyone has these great ideas, these great visions, these great, I wish I could do this. Well, my mom always said, my mama said, why not you? You could do it. If they don't have a restaurant in Cedar Falls that you would love to go to every day, you could create that. Or there's people out there making millions of dollars playing video games on Twitch and YouTube. If you're passionate about something, there's a place for you, If you are, if you're super into designing custom spokes for a bicycle, there's probably a job for you somewhere, or you can make it. There's people out there that would there's crazier things in life that happen. There's people that have literally put googly eyes on a rock and made a lot of money. So if that does not inspire you, I don't know what will. So just stop procrastinating. We all do it, me included, every single day. We procrastinate, and that is probably our biggest sabotage. I guess just not starting something, or thinking that it's dumb. So we all do it. 299. We're gonna go 3 more. Dun dun dun. 3 more. What makes you feel secure? Well, I feel pretty secure all the time because I don't feel insecure. I guess a lot of money would maybe make me feel secure. I don't know. Maybe a bodyguard would make me feel more secure. I don't know. I feel pretty secure. I mean, I live in rural Iowa. I mean, I don't have much threats daily. So a locked door maybe at night makes me feel secure. 2 more. 319. What do you love to do? What do I love to do? That's easy, but yet hard. What do I love to do? I love going to new restaurants with Chris, trying different food, that kind of things. But I also love coming home and cooking with Christy, and on a summer day with the windows open and Walt's hanging out on the couch, and there's football on or something like that, just hanging out at the house and doing those kind of things. Those are all the things that I love. So pretty simple. I just like hanging out. Not a big like I have to go out to the bars or anything like that, or even concerts are kind of, I get tired. I go to bed early, so I guess those kind of things. Just hanging out. Last one. 186. Dun, 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 dun. Oh no. What does love feel like? This is a good one to end. I guess for me personally, love feels like love feels like you totally give yourself up, in a sense that you totally let yourself go and you trust in another person, and like you're never gonna, hopefully, with your parents or whatever, you never have to worry about them loving you. They're always gonna love you, and You know, I feel for those people that do have to worry about that. But, you know, I think love feels like you don't have to worry about anything. You know that it's all good. They're going to be there. They're always going to love you, you know. It's good. It's good. So for me, that's what love feels like. Is just there's no expectations. There's no weight on your shoulder. There's no looking over your back thinking. There's no second guessing. You just know that. I don't know how else to explain it. So hopefully you guys have some better thoughts on that one. Maybe leave them in the comments or something. But this has been fun, guys. We're going on 38 minutes strong now. Just doing a random Q&A. You know, I thought about posting, you know, a status about, you know, asking random questions or something like that. But I don't know. I thought this was pretty fun and pretty easy. So maybe we'll do it another time. So I got some guests. I got a guest lined up here for this weekend. Hopefully me and him can get in touch. Or we are in touch, but hopefully we can get it hammered out this weekend and get you guys a new podcast maybe Sunday. So hope you guys enjoyed these table topics. Again, breaking history right here. First time ever I Googled it. Fact check that anybody's done. Table topics podcast, Solocast. This is episode 9, half the story, guys. Remember, please, if you can, subscribe to me. Rate me on iTunes. Give me that 5 stars. And share my podcasts. Like them. Anytime you like them, you know, tell your friends, your grandma, your sister. If anybody can benefit from them, go ahead. Tell them. Go ahead, please. So help me out, guys. I'm going to try to help you guys out. Keep giving you guys this free content. So other than that, guys, I don't know why I'm looking down here, but my computer's down there. Have a good night. I'll see you guys. Episode 9 is in the books.